I'm going to give a very brief walkthrough on how to use the MaRMAT Reparative Metadata Assessment tool. I'm not going to get into the background of the tool's purposes in this video, just very basically going through the steps you'll need to actually run the tool and use it. Please feel free to spend time with the background and information about the tool, background on the lexicons. Here we've provided two lexicons to use in the GUI. You are free to create your own lexicon or edit this lexicon. So you'll want to click on, the first one we have is the reparative metadata lexicon, which includes harmful terminology that can be used to query against uncontrolled elements such as title and description. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up. And what you'll want to do is just download this file so you'll have it on your computer. And you can make any edits once you have it on your own instance of your computer to that terminology. And you'll also want to download the Library of Congress subject heading lexicon if you plan to do any assessment on your subject headings. So both of those are downloaded. I recommend creating a folder where you can include your lexicons, and I've already moved these over here to save time. So you can have your lexicons, a folder with the metadata spreadsheets of the collections that you'd like to use the MaRMAT tool against, and then a folder for your outputs, and this is what will be your reports once it runs through the MaRMAT tool where you can save in here. So let's take a quick look at the lexicons. The reparative metadata lexicon has a number of categories within it, and this is largely taken from Duke University's description audit tool. I think we've added a couple in here, but you can see the different categories of harmful terminology. If we're missing anything, please let us know. Like I said, you can edit this, you can remove terms, you can create your own lexicon that'll work in the system, but this is really essentially a starting point to look at, run against your collections for harmful terminology. And then our other lexicon is the Library of Congress subject headings, which you can take a look at. This is mostly looking at LCSH headings that have changed or canceled within the last year and other notable ones, as well as the problem LCSH headings that haven't changed yet but have been flagged by the field as problematic headings. So this is about, let's see here, I believe it's about 425 headings. So if you wanted to just query an element that has subject headings, this is a great lexicon to use. So I'm going to close out of both of these and go back to the GitHub. So in addition to the lexicons, you will want to download the GUI. So for Windows and PC users, you can download the GUI and it'll run off of Python as long as you have Python, and for Mac users you can use the commands line. And here's some information for our Mac users and running it against the commands. For again, PC Windows users, just go ahead and download the file. And what I typically do is I go to my downloads folder. Sorry, I have a lot open going on right now. And just double click and open it up right from here. It'll take a minute, and there we go. This is MaRMAT. And what you'll want to do is first load the lexicon that you want to use. So I'm going to use an example. I'm going to go for the reparative metadata lexicon. And then you get a notification that it's loaded successfully. Then we're going to load the metadata that we want to run this lexicon against. So I have a number of collections here. I'm just going to click one of them. Oops. Again, you'll get the success. Go on to the next screen. You can pick which columns that you want to analyze. I want to look, I'm using the reparative metadata lexicon, so that's for the mostly the uncontrolled descriptive fields. So I'm going to do title and description. You may have other title or elements to look at, and these names right here are coming straight from my spreadsheet because these are the column headers in my spreadsheet. You will always need an identifier column, so you'll want to select that. For us, it's actually ID. Here I can also select which categories in that reparative metadata lexicon to look at. So I could select all of these easily. I'm just going to select a couple and kind of see what happens. So you can also just select one of these. So for example, the Japanese incarceration includes a number of terms that really wouldn't be flagged in a different setting, but for the Japanese concentration camps in America during World War II, the terms like evacuee and evacuation are terms we don't want to use. So those are flagged within that category within the lexicon. So you could just select this one if you were looking at collections related to that topic. So then go ahead and hit perform matching, and then just wait. There's not a lot of indication of what's going on right now, but just kind of wait it out a little bit, and then you'll get a pop-up like this, and this is where you'll want to save in your output folder. I'm just going to create my own okay, and then let's just go take a look at what that looks like. Sorry, I have too many things open. Okay, so let's see what happens here. I want to make sure this is comma separated. So this is an example of what your report will look like. So you get the identifier here, the term that was flagged, the category that it came from, the column header name, and also the original text. So this can give you a report of things that you want to go back and take a closer look at, possibly. Some of these may be relevant for you and some of them may not, but again, it's an assessment tool to help you get started on analyzing your collections in a more, hopefully a faster way. I will say that this will run, it definitely takes a little bit of time to run, especially on larger collections. So just know that if you're doing a couple, 20,000 records of metadata, depending on how many categories you have and how many columns that you're looking at, you might end up waiting for a few minutes to get that report output. So good luck, and let me know how it goes.